The Wildcats will be kicking off. It'll be Granger Mahler. The Wildcats in their white jerseys, cardinal pants, and cardinal numerals. The Farragut Admirals wearing blue jerseys, silver pants, silver helmets with the Dallas Cowboys star on the helmet. The Oak Ridge fans are on their feet, and we're about to have the kickoff of this Region 2 ball game from Farragut High School. David Clary, Scott Munger, Mark Hayes, our statistician, Nathan Forbes, our engineer, Roger Eichel, Berger, and Philip Leander, Brian Hartman. The whole crew is with us, and we're about to get this game underway. And here's the kick by Granger Mahler. He hits it long. He hits it very long, well into the end zone. That'll be a touchback. That is a good 10 yards into the end zone. It'll be 1st and 10, Farragut at the 20.
Well, I definitely believe Granger ate his Wheaties. That was a very high kick. Ended up right probably 6 yards deep in the end zone. Of course, in the new rules, you can't return it anyway, so it gives Farragut a start on the 20-yard line.
And the Farragut offense onto the field. They lost last week to the Powell Panthers, and I know they feel they're a better team than they showed last week against the cross-county rivals. They're moving from left to right as we get ready to get underway here as the Admirals have the ball 1st and 10 at the 20. The sun beginning to set to our right as we look towards Kingston Pike here at Farragut High School. They'll send receivers left and right. Under center they come with a backfield split. They like to run the veer. 4-man front Oak Ridge. Handoff goes for about a yard or two. Not much more than that as they move the ball to around the 21-yard line. It'll be, I guess, 2nd down and about 2 yards to go. Rigsby on the carry for the Farragut Admirals. The ball's moved to the 22-yard line. Bill Pendergrass, the rush in for the Wildcats, 5'11", 187-pound senior there for the stop. The ball officially at the 21-yard line. 2nd down and 8 yards to go. Up to the line, they'll have a receiver to the right side here. That's number 43, Rudy Smith. Single man to the far left. Backfield split once again. Their quarterback under center. 2nd down, 8 yards to go. He rolls down the line. He's going to be hit and dropped behind the line of scrimmage by the Wildcats. Joe Gaddis Jr., Brad Redmond, and John Dickens all around the stop. It'll be a loss on the play of about 2 yards.
Well, the last 2 times, David, they've come out and have run the veer. The first time the quarterback saw a gave it off to the running back. That time he didn't see it, kept the ball, and as soon as he did, looked like Joe Gaddis came up from his strong safety position, and no way, probably lost about 2 yards, and brings up 3rd and 10.
Brad Rowland is their quarterback, a 6', 175-pound senior. Last year saw limited action. He did hold for kicks, but other than that, he did not see a lot of action. 3rd down, 10 yards to go, 10:45 to play. First quarter just underway from Farragut. Single running back, 3 receivers in the pattern, actually 4 in the pattern, 3 to the far left. Quarterback rolling with pass across the way, incomplete, not even close. And miscommunication on the part of the intended receiver and the quarterback. It was intended for number 85, Mike Bartleson, but nowhere even close. It'll be Oak Ridge getting the ball first. Mike Gibson dropping back to receive the punt from the Farragut Admirals.
Well, David, they had trips on the left side, and they had 1 receiver back over here on our side on the right side. They came out, and it looks like they had some kind of miscommunication or a bad route or something. The ball was nowhere close.
Heavy pressure. Here it comes. End over end kick. Mike Gibson will field it at the 45. Gives grounds. Cuts back inside 50. Goes down to the 43-yard line of Farragut. And that's where Oak Ridge will take over. 1st down, 10 yards to go. The Wildcat offense coming onto the field, led by the senior quarterback, Chad Lucier. The Wildcats, Sean Bohannon, the tailback. Stan Sisk will be the fullback. What an outstanding ball game last week that Sean Bohannon had against the Rake County Golden Eagles.
Well, it was an outstanding half. You know, of course, he didn't even touch the ball in the second half. They ended up with 11 carries, 200 yards, 4 touchdowns, and hardly even broke a sweat. You know, like I said, he did not carry the ball at all in the second half.
Up to the line will come the Wildcats. Mike Gibson and Bell Brock to the far right. Up to the line, Chad Lucier under center from the I formation. 1st and 10. Chad will hand it off to Bohannon. He's across the 40. Cuts to the outside. He's at the 30. 25-yard line, 20. Down to the 15. Pushed out of bounds. Sean Bohannon moves the ball all the way down to the Farragut 20-yard line. It'll be 1st down, 10 yards to go for the Wildcats.
It was another great, very successful play. There was a huge hole. The offensive line on the right side especially did a wonderful job. Oak Ridge came out with a little sprint draw action. Bohannon gets the ball deep in the backfield, accelerates, put the moves on one person, hits the sideline, gets pushed out of bounds about the 18-yard line. They're going with a no-huddle offense.
From the 19-yard line, 1st down, 10 yards to go. Bohannon, the fumble on the play, picked up on the field by Oak Ridge. It'll be a loss of about a yard or 2 on the play. Casey Jones, offensive lineman for the Wildcats, there to make the recovery for the Wildcats. It is a loss of 2 yards. 2nd down and 12 to go. 10 minutes to play. First quarter just underway. Scoreless ball game live from Farragut on AM 1290 WATO and Tennessee Cablevision, Channel 12. The ball's at the 20-yard line.
That was a heads-up play, David, by Casey Jones. Casey was the left guard and was actually pulling on the play. It looks like Chad Lucier never came out with a snap, and Casey saw the ball, bounced on it, lost 2 yards, but they kept the ball. Chad Lucier will ask for a timeout. Didn't like what he saw. We'll take one ourselves. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
You ready to bring it back quick?
Oh, we've got heat, no air. Take that back. Oh, heat, no air. Yeah, part of the fan.
Back here at Farragut High School live on AM 1290 WATO. Sean Bohannon moves the ball to around the 15-yard line, where it's now 3rd down and 7 yards to go. They came out of the timeout very quickly and didn't give us a chance to get back from the break. Wildcats have the ball just shy of the 15-yard line, 3rd down and 7 yards to go. Up to the line will come the Wildcats. The first man to the line, the center, Chris Black. Bill Brock and Mike Gibson drift off far to the right. Oak Ridge from the I stand sits the fullback. The tailback is Sean Bohannon. Chad Lucier under center from the 16-yard line. 3rd down, 7 yards to go. Lucier will pitch to Bohannon. Bohannon cuts to the outside. He has it at the 10. He has it at the 5. He'll go to the 3-yard line. Tackled finally at the 1. It'll be 1st down, goal to go for the Wildcats as Sean Bohannon takes it almost in for his 5th touchdown of the year. He's denied the score at the 1-yard line.
You know, it's really funny. They came out on the sweep that time, David, just to see the difference in say, a Sean Summers, a Sean Williams, and a Sean Bohannon running the sweep. They've all each got their, it's the same play, but they all go about it a little bit different. Looks like Sean Bohannon glides a little bit and then just turns off the jets. You know, remember, Sean Williams would actually be going forward when he got the ball. I mean, they ended up, the pitch was so shallow that it was almost a handoff. Well, it's not the case with Sean Bohannon. He gets the ball going a little bit more laterally and then just sees a hole, whatever the crack is, and then explodes into it.
1st down, goal to go for Oak Ridge at the 1-yard line. Gibson wide to the right. Bell Brock here to the near side. The Wildcats moving from right to left at the 1-yard line. 1st down, goal to go. Senior quarterback Chad Lucier under center from the I. He'll hand it off to Stan Sisk, who goes into the end zone for the Oak Ridge score. The Wildcats take the lead 6-0 with 8:32 to play in the 1st quarter. Stan Sisk, his 2nd touchdown of the season, and it's 6-0 Oak Ridge.
Oh, nothing fancy, David. A little trap on the right side. Stan Sisk gets the ball, goes to one yard into the end zone. Looks like the center had a good block, and actually on the trap was probably Casey Jones on the trap block.
And into the game for the Wildcats will come the senior place kicker, Granger Marler. It'll be Chad Lucier to hold, John Dickens to snap. 6-0 Oak Ridge. The ball is down, high snap, big pressure. Here's the kick. It's up, off to the left side. It is no good. So with 8:32 to play in the 1st quarter, it's 6-0 Oak Ridge, and we'll be back in 60 seconds. 6-0 Oak Ridge, and Granger Marler will kick off to Farragut. Here it is, high, once again long and driving into the end zone. It's another touchback, so 2 kickoffs, 2 touchbacks for the Wildcats, and Farragut's offense will come on the field. 1st down, 10 yards to go at the 20-yard line.
Well, that's a great way to start off a possession, you know, David. It's 2 times in a row that Granger Marler has nailed one in the end zone. You know, I talked to him after the game last week, and the whole kicking staff, all the kickers, the punters, and everything, after they do what they have to do in regular practice, they go up to Blankenship in practice. And Granger and Coach Saunders has said both that has helped them out tremendously.
Up to the line of scrimmage will come the Farragut Admirals. In their first drive, they were unable to move the ball. They had to punt. They gave Oak Ridge great field position. They start this drive at the 20. Brad Rowland at quarterback, single running back, 3 receivers to the left, single man here to the right. 1st down, 10 yards to go from the 20, and Rowland will pass. The pass is complete to Bartleson, breaks the tackle, and then he's tackled by Jason Altman along with Oak Ridge's number 61, Rocky Remine. It was exactly the same play they tried to run on 3rd down. This time it is complete. 2nd down, 2 yards to go.
Yeah, it looks like that time the receiver ran the right pattern, David. Nothing fancy, just a little hitch, and then made a good move on one of the, probably the outside lineman. It may have been Jamil Dye. Nice little pickup about 7 or 8 yards.
Eddie Courtney is the longtime offensive coordinator here at Farragut, now the head coach, because Buddy Fisher retired or resigned right after spring practice. 2nd down, about 2 yards to go. 4-man front for the Wildcats, backfield split. Rowland hands it off to number 41, who gets back to around the 28 and squirts forward to the 29-yard line. And it'll be Joe Gaddis on the stop for the Wildcats. It'll be 3rd down and a yard to go. Reeve Snyder in the ball game. That's a familiar name to perhaps basketball fans. James Reeve Snyder, his brother, played basketball and was an outstanding basketball player for Syracuse University. The Ball's they're around the 29-yard line. 3rd down and 1 yard to go. 7:21 to play first quarter. It's very hot up here, Scott Munger, in the press box. Lots of fans standing all around this field here. A typical Oak Ridge Farragut crowd, not as big as I have seen it in the past. Maybe because of Farragut losing last week. They have a single running back. And they'll come up, and now a flag goes down, and we're going to have perhaps a delay of game called, indeed, against the Farragut Admirals. And I think that'll cost them 5 yards. So it'll be 2nd down and 6 yards to go.
Well, it really is a big penalty. Instead of being 3rd and 1, all of a sudden now it's 3rd and 6. And, it gives you a tremendous disadvantage, I think, when you're going up against a defense like this into trying to get a 1st down.
The Wildcats lead it by a score of 6-0. 6:59 to play in the first quarter. Thanks for tuning us in, whether on AM 1290 WATO or Tennessee Cablevision Channel 12. 3 receivers to the left, slot man to the right, the single running backs, wide receiver to the right as well. Quarterback rolling back to pass. Pass is incomplete. In and out of the hands of Bartleson, defending Jason Altman. It's 4th down. So Farragut just not executing on that particular play. 4th down again, and Oak Ridge should get great field position again. They got great field position after the first punt, and Mike Gibson standing back at around his 45.
Well, we talked to some people here that had seen Farragut play last week, and they said that one of the things that really hurt them were the fact that the Farragut receivers dropped a lot of passes. And here, this would have probably been one for a 1st down, but he missed the ball.
Short bouncing kick is going to be rolling dead, then kicked by a Farragut Admirals way up the field at around the 40-yard line, and that's where Oak Ridge will take over. 1st down, 10 yards to go. He kind of bumped off his thigh, and it shot forward about another 6 or 7 yards, but the officials right on the call. It'll be Oak Ridge 1st down, 10 yards to go. The ball in their own territory. They'll start this drive, I believe, at their own 41-yard line. 6-0, the Wildcats scoring on a 1-yard touchdown burst by fullback Stan Sisk. And Stan remembers this field very well. It was here his sophomore year that he blew out his knee.
Oh, it happened. I believe it was that not in the JV game, David?
Sure was. Up to the line will come the Wildcats. Mike Gibson wide to the right. Bell Brock here to the near side. The Wildcats moving from right to left here in the first quarter. Chad Lucier under center from the 41. From the eye, handoff, fullback Stan Sisk across the 45. Stan Sisk buried hard at the 46-yard line. About a 5-yard gain for the senior fullback. I remember it very well. It was down here to my left around the 15-yard line. The game was already over, and they were trying to get him some more work, and then unfortunately he went down, and at that time he had earned himself the starting position at fullback and had to sit out the playoffs, which was very tough for him.
Well, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. He could very well easily be the best fullback that's played here. He does a tremendous blocker, does a great job running, and also does a wonderful job coming out of the backfield catching some passes.
2nd down, a long 4 to go for a first. 2 receivers here to the near side from the eye once again. Lucier will hand it off to Bohannon. Bohannon moves forward, and he's going to be tackled right at the line of scrimmage and brings the Farragut fans to their crowd. Very knowledgeable Farragut fans. I think they very much know about Sean Bohannon because they knew when he got the ball and they stopped him really for no gain that was the man they needed to stop.
I think everybody in East Tennessee knows about Sean Bohannon, if not the state of Tennessee. Like we mentioned before, he's the only Tennessee player on the Street and Smith All-American team. I know the Channel 6 News came out this week and did a little piece on Sean Bohannon in which he handled himself very well. By the end of the year, everybody in probably the South is going to know about him. 3rd
down, 3 yards to go for the Wildcats at the 47-yard line. From the eye, once again, receivers left and right. 4-man front. It's the reverse to McCadley. McCadley has a 1st down across midfield, moving the ball down to the 46-yard line. 1st down, 10 yards to go for Jason McCadley, who moves the ball for the 1st down.
That was a fine piece of running that time by McCadley on the reverse. It looks like as soon as he got the ball, that somebody got him around the ankles. It looked like he was going to fall, but he ended up getting his bounce. He was able to make the corner, make the 1st down, goes out of bounds about the Farragut 46.5-yard line.
Wildcats to the line quickly. 1st down, 10 yards to go in Farragut territory at the 47. 4:55 to play in the first quarter. It's 6-0 Oak Ridge. From the eye, the Wildcats. Lucier, handoff, Stan Sisk across the 40. Sisk down to the Farragut 38-yard line. Another big gain on 1st down for the Wildcats. It'll be 2nd down and about 2 yards to go.
Well, this, the same trap that he scored on earlier, with everybody keying on Sean Bohannon, I would think that Stan Sisk would get a lot of carries in this game and probably every game. That trap's going to be open a whole lot because it's set up by the sweep. Now, I would expect to see maybe on a second, two, we may see Chad Lucier throw the ball for the first time.
Bell Brock to the far right as a wide receiver. Flanker to the left is Mike Gibson from the eye once again. 2nd and 2. Chad will pass down the field. There's the man. Here comes the pass. It's incomplete. Boy, I tell you, that one would have gone for Velbrock's second score of the season. Just a little bit overthrown because he had broken free from his defender. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, Vel showed a whole lot of speed that time, David. He just blew by his man on the defensive, the cornerback over there about the 20, probably the 18-yard line. Chad threw the ball. It was a real quick setup, maybe a little 3-step drop, and ended up overthrowing him, but just by a little bit.
Wildcats have been very successful on 3rd down conversions. Let's see what they can do on this one. It's 3rd down 2. The ball at the 39-yard line of the Farragut Admirals. Lucier under center, receivers left and right. 3rd and 2. From the eye, the pitch will go to Sean Bohannon. They need a first down. He's got it across the 35 to the 30 to the 25, 20, 15, 10. Sean Bohannon scores. Touchdown, Wildcats. Sean Bohannon takes it all the way in for his 5th touchdown of the season, and Oak Ridge leads it by a score of 12-0 with 4:09 to play in the first quarter.
Well, David, they only needed one, but of course he got a lot more than that. They ended up coming with a sweep on the left side of the field. He hit the sideline after, as soon as he got the first down, ended up going about another 32 or 3 yards, and so nobody was around to get him.
The Wildcats will go for 2 here. 4:09 to play, first quarter. Lucier brings his team. No, it's Mike Gibson who brings his team up at quarterback. From the eye, Mike Gibson under center. He'll hand it off to Stan Six. No, it's the pitch to Bohannon. Big hole, he scores. Flags are down on the play. Mike Gibson came in. I thought Stan Sisk initially had it. We'll have to check the flag. The Farragut to come in to try to boot the extra point. He has yet to make his appearance onto Farragut Field here. They're talking with the Oak Ridge captains. Coach Gaddis, Coach Saunders talking about it down there. Granger staying on the sideline as of right now. 5-yard step off, 12-0 our score, and Oak Ridge wants to talk about it. Let's take a break. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Ethan Forbes back here at Farragut. Oak Ridge will now go for the extra point. Granger, Marler in. Here's the snap. Here's the hold. The kick is up, and the kick, it is good. So time of the field, our score, 4:09 to play. Oak Ridge on top of Farragut, 13-0. Back here at Farragut, here's the kickoff by Granger. Marler, this one will go to the 1-yard line, to the 5, to the 10. Boom! Big knock by the Wildcats, and around the 14 or 15-yard line. It'll be Oak Ridge's Kiki Houston, Joe Gaddis Jr. down there for the stop. It'll be Farragut taking over in their worst. Gary Alexander as well in their worst field position. Previous kicks had gone into the end zone. This one is brought out to around the 14, where it'll be first down, 10 yards to go for the Admirals. Now trailing 13-0 in the first quarter.
Well, the first 2 kickoffs went in the end zone. That was probably the perfect spot right there to put one, David. The guy had to catch it actually almost over his shoulder to keep it from going into the end zone, and probably made a not very smart decision in bringing it out in the first place.
Rolling under center will pass. Little pass is complete. Tries to break a tackle. Tries to cut to the outside. No place to go. Just didn't have the quickness to get anywhere. And that's Rudy Smith, 6'4", 200-pound senior. Just didn't have enough quickness. He caught the ball, and he looked like he was in slow motion trying to make a move. No place to go. He'll lose about 2 or 3 on the play. Yeah, David, it looks like he lost about 3. I believe that was Brad Redmond from his linebacker position came over and made the tackle. And of course, we talked about him last week being, he does such a great job going side to side, has great lateral speed. Second down, 13 yards to go. 2 receivers here to the near side for Farragut. Backfield split, rolling under center. He'll hand it off to the second man through, finds a big hole across the 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, down to the 45-yard line before Jason Altman makes the stop. A big hole opened up on the evidently nobody saw him coming free, and he picks up great yardage. First down, 10 yards to go for Farragut. Well, David, to tell you the truth, I don't really know what happened. All of a sudden, I thought another guy had the ball, and this guy comes running down the field at about 30 yards. I'm not exactly sure where he came from. Picked up 29 yards. Up to the line of scrimmage will come Farragut from the 45-yard line. Backfield split once again. Receivers 2 to the far left. Rowland hands it off once again for about a yard or 2, not much more than that, as they move the ball forward to around the 45-yard line. Once again, it'll be second down. This time 9 yards to go. Fine run by number 41, James Reef-Snyder that time. Tommy Johnston there on the stop as Reef-Snyder comes out of the contest. 2:37 to go in the first quarter. It's 13-0. John Dickens also on the stop for the Wildcats. Second down and 9. Farragut moving from left to right here in the first quarter of this Region 2 ball game from Farragut. Up to the line, single running back. 3 receivers here to the near side, a single man to the left. Rowland dropping back to pass. The pass is complete. Good defense by the Wildcats. And the stop is made by Gaddis out there, Redmond and Pendergrass all around the stop. It'll be 3rd down and about 7 yards to go.
Well, there was that time they came with that little out on that single receiver side. Rowland threw the ball to Smith. And just immediately Joe Gaddis was right there for little or no pickup whatsoever. Brings up 3rd, and it's really a big play right now for Farragut.
The ball's at the Farragut 48-yard line. 1:52 and counting in the first quarter. It's 13-0 Oak Ridge. At halftime, we'll go back to Nathan Forbes for scores of other ball games. Up to the line, backfield split. Rowland looks over the 4-man front set by the Wildcats. Straight drop to pass. Setting up the inside screen. The pass is complete, but Redmond is there for the stop. He'll be shy of the 1st down by about a yard. It'll be 4th down and a yard to go. They set up that little screen. They allowed the penetration in. One of the Admirals is down on the play. It's going to be 4th down and about 3 yards to go, and they're going to attend to the injured Admiral. And while we have a break in the action, why don't we...
Official now signals the ball ready to play. Reagan gets a high snap. Lots of pressure.
Here's the punt by Farragut. Mike Gibson fields it at the 5, to the 10. If he can get outside, he'll go. He will not be able to. Can't break the tackle, but he goes down at the 10-yard line. And that's where the Wildcats will take over. 1st down, 10 yards to go. Leading in this ball game, 13-0 over Farragut. 1:07 to play in the first quarter.
David, that's a wonderful kick that time by Seth Reagan. It looks like the senior. The snap was very high. He had to jump up for it. And I thought it was going to go over his head, actually. And it came out a left-footed kicker and just boomed one. Mike Gibson caught the ball probably about the 15-yard line, gave a little bit of ground, and actually lost 2 on the return.
Big difference between this game and last year when it was 0-0 at the half. Oak Ridge did eventually win that game 19-0. Oak Ridge from the eye. Lucier brings them up. Receivers left and right. 1st and 10. The pitch will go to Sean Bohannon. Bohannon 15, 20, 25, 30 to the 35 to the 40. Sean Bohannon all the way down to the 43-yard line. Another Oak Ridge 1st down. Sean Bohannon continues to run roughshod over our opponents. Another big 1st down run for Bohannon.
David, I don't know what else we can say. We haven't even said in the first 5 quarters of this year. Sean Bohannon takes the sweep, runs the sweep so well, has great vision, makes one cutback, turns on the juice, makes really a 3 or 4 or 5 yard gain into a 25-yarder.
1st down, 10 yards to go for the Wildcats at the 42-yard line from the eye. They'll come once again. It looks like Jason Altman as a receiver to the right, a single man here to the left. Up to the line from the eye. Chad will pass. Pumps once. He's in trouble. Goes down the field. Here comes Mike Gibson under the pass. Can't make the play. No flag. It'll be just an incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd down, 10 yards to go. That time, pretty good coverage by the Farragut Admirals, and heavy pressure that time applied on Chad. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
That was a really good throw under the pressure that he was in. He was looking to his left on the left sideline. It looked like the defensive end from his right side was really coming out and to cold clock him. And I was watching him and actually didn't think he was going to get the ball thrown, but he actually did and got a lot of velocity on it as well.
Up to the line once again will come the Wildcats. 2nd down and 10. Jason Altman here to the near side. Mike Gibson to the far right from the Oak Ridge. 27 seconds to play. Handoff to the fullback. Stan Siska across the 50. That's another 1st down. Stan Siska carries the ball into Farragut territory. 1st and 10 Wildcats. You've got to pay so much attention to Sean Bohannon, and that gives the opportunity for Stan Siska to run the ball, and he picks up the 1st down.
Absolutely, David. You look at Sean Bohannon, you think he's going to run on the sweep, and then they come back with that trap with Stan Sisk, and he's done it now for his 3rd year. It's a very, very potent play for the Wildcats.
Final seconds ticking down here in the first quarter. In fact, that was the final play. Our score, Oak Ridge on top of Farragut, 13-0, and we'll be back in 60 seconds. 13-0. It's 1st down, 10 yards to go for the Wildcats in Farragut territory. Handoff Bohannon. This time he is hit hard. Sean Bohannon just really leveled that time by the Admirals. Let's see who it is who was able to perform that feat. Number 31 for them, Ryan Honeycutt, 5'7", 175-pounder. He dropped Sean for a 2-yard loss.
That looks like it was some kind of a miscommunication there. That guy was in there, had some kind of a little counter option thing going, and he was in there so quick. I was actually thought that Bohannon might have been hurt. He got up awfully slow, but he looks like he's fine. He's back in.
Second down, 12 yards to go, 11:27 and counting here in the second quarter. Oak Ridge from the I, Stan Sisk and Sean Bohannon. Receivers left and right. Lucier from the 47-yard line. Under center he'll go. The pitch will go to Bohannon. Big hole opens up. He cuts across the field to the 40. Up, and that's where he's tackled. It'll be third down and about 3 yards to go. It seems like, Scott, every time that Sean Bohannon gets the ball, you expect him to go about 15 or 20 yards.
Exactly. You know, we mentioned that last week. It's almost kind of a disappointment when he gains, 7 or 8, because you think he's going to go the distance. And, think about Sean Bohannon. You think of the sweep. It's always easier, and it doesn't sound like it would be, to run the sweep to your right. He does, I think, a lot better job of running it to his left, which may not sound like a big deal, but he does a wonderful job running the sweep on the left side. Third
down, 5 yards to go for the Wildcats. The Wildcats from the Farragut 41. Stan Sisk with a call. There's a first down. He's across the 30. He fumbles it, recovers it at around the 31-yard line. Stan Sisk picks up another Oak Ridge first down.
Well, I tell you, we got a big break. Stan Sisk makes a great run, takes a big first down, and then as soon as he was tackled, he fumbled the ball. It looked like John Dickens was hustling down from his guard position, just reached out while he was on the ground and grabbed the big club around it to retain possession.
10:27 and counting in the first half, 13-0 Oak Ridge on top. First and 10 for Oak Ridge at the Farragut 31-yard line. Chris Black to the line first. Darian Milton is in as a receiver here to the near side. Jason Altman to the far left. Oak Ridge from the I. Under center once again will come Lucier. And Lucier will hand it off to McCallie. McCallie fumbles it. It's on the field. Picked up by Oak Ridge momentarily. A big mad scramble all the way back at the 47. Sisk comes up with the ball and takes it off running down the field. They signal it is Oak Ridge's ball. The Stan comes out of there. The officials are still looking at the pile, and Stan is all the way down to the 10-yard line. Nobody within 15 to 20 yards of him. We're just fortunate to get the ball back. I don't think Jason McCallie ever had his hands on the ball.
Well, he didn't, David. Really fortunate to have the ball, period. It's one of those football folly things when you see the ball going around, and Jason knew he didn't have it. He was trying to get the ball, but he had a guy around his ankles, and then, like, everything was frozen for just a second. Once everybody decided to actually there was a fumble, that, everybody goes to run for it, and then everybody just keeps going, and he gets it, but it's really a football folly.
Second down, 27 yards to go for the Wildcats. They need to get all the way to the 22-yard line. Wildcats have two receivers in the pattern. From the I, they'll come. Lucier under center. The pitch will go to Bohannon. Wildcats, Gibson will throw. He cranks it up down the field. There's the man, Bill Brock. It's intercepted by Farragut at the 25, to the 30, to the 40-yard line. Just shy of that, he's tackled. It'll be Farragut first down, 10 yards to go. Mike Gibson tried to throw the ball down the field to Bill Brock, and he underthrew his man. Farragut takes over. First down, 10 yards to go. 8:59 to play. First half, 13-0 Oak Ridge.
Well, David, they came with a little razzle-dazzle that time, had to reverse to Gibson and let him throw the ball. Once he said, I don't know if the guy was open, I really couldn't tell, but Mike didn't get a very good pass off it. It was a wobbly duck that looks like the free safety was back there waiting on it. Heads-up play by him. Brings up first down and 10 from the 38-yard line.
Farragut hasn't really been able to move the ball that successfully against the Wildcats. Up to the line will come the Admirals. First and 10. Handoff goes to the second man, who moves the ball across the 40. That's Reef Snyder to the 42-yard line. Gained about 3, maybe even 4 yards on the play. It'll be second down, about 6 yards to go for the Farragut Admirals as they move the ball to their own 43. 8:44 and counting in the second quarter. It's been all Oak Ridge, 13-0. Wildcats have been their own worst enemy. A couple fumbles and a couple turnovers have hurt them a little bit, but they do lead 13-0. Up to the line will come Farragut once again. They'll send number 25, Jake Broom, to the far right. Two receivers here to the near side. Second down, about 5.5 yards to go. From the 42, Rowan will pass across the way, across the middle, pass complete for a first down at the 48-yard line of Farragut. Mike Gibson there for the stop. Crisp pass that time. First and 10, Admirals.
Very, David. A little quick slant by the receiver. Roland steps up. It looks like he sees the field very well. Has a great arm, a lot better than the quarterbacks did last week at Farragut. Nice throw and catch. Brings up the first time, actually, I believe they've had the ball on the Oak Ridge territory.
From the 48-yard line, first and 10 for the Admirals. The backfield split. 8 minutes to play in the second quarter. Quarterback rolling to his right, hands it off to number 2, it looked like, Hunter Rigsby, 5'6", 145-pound sophomore. He's tripped up right at the line of scrimmage, was able to squirt forward for a gain of about 2 yards. That'll be second down and 8 yards to go. The ball just shy of the 46-yard line of the Wildcats. Joe Gaddis, the head coach of the Wildcats, directing his team against the Farragut Admirals. His very first game as the skipper of the Wildcats came against Farragut, an overtime victory for the Wildcats. Single running back, 3 receivers to the right, a single man here to the near side. The running back gets the call, and he'll go no place. Bill Pendergrass wrestles him to the grass at around the 45-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and long, facing Farragut. Farragut was shut out last year by the Wildcats. Final score was 19-0. In 1994, the Wildcats won 28-14. The Wildcats trying to win their 3rd consecutive game over Farragut. Oak Ridge leads the series 14 wins to 4 defeats.
Oh, darn. You have to love that, David. Anytime you can beat a Farragut team, you know, you have to really relish in it. This is going to be a great game. This is a big 3rd down play right here.
3rd down, 8 yards to go. Rollins rolling to his left will run the ball. He turns it up the field. He'll be close to 1st down yardage. They're going to say officially he goes down at around the 40. He'll be about a yard short of the first. It'll be 4th down and a yard to go. It's a good decision, I think, right there. A big decision for Eddie Courtney. Farragut wants to think about it. They're going to take a timeout. 13-0 Oak Ridge. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Go ahead and take the 60. Go ahead and take the 60.
6:05 to go until halftime.
Everyone's always willing to talk basketball. We might talk to her at halftime. Ball's at the 40-yard line. It's 4th down and about a yard to go. Let's see if they just come out and try to draw the Wildcats off sides or go for it. The ball's at the 40-yard line. I think it's a pretty good gamble right here for Coach Courtney. 4th down and a long one to go. They'll come from the wishbone. 6:05 to play. Rollins under center. Everybody stacked along the line. And they're going to stand up, try to draw the Wildcats off sides. No, he's going to hand it off. The man is hit. Boom! He's hit. Falls forward. Will he get the 1st down? Depending on the spot, it's going to be very close. They hit him initially. He was able to slide off. That's Reeve Snyder. I do believe he has enough for the Farragut 1st down, but it's extremely close, and they're going to have to bring the chains out on the field. The Wildcats lead it by a score of 13-0. Sean Bohannon already with over 100 yards in the ball game as the chains are going to be brought down across the field. He might be about a half a football length short. We're going to stretch the chains, and indeed it is going to be Oak Ridge's football. They are short. Oak Ridge takes over, so that gamble fails to pay dividends for the new head coach Eddie Courtney, who lost his 1st game last week. Oak Ridge will take over in good field position at the 39-yard line.
When you can't blame the coach for Farragut for going for it. You know, the ball's on the 40-yard line, and that's the first time they've had the ball inside their Oak Ridge's territory. They're, you know, probably a heavy underdog. They had just come off a turnover, thought they had a little bit of momentum. You can't, you know, it's not the worst play in the world. But now, if Oak Ridge had come out and score right here, score 6 or 7 points, this ball game could very easily be over.
1st down, 10 yards to go for the Wildcats. Chad Lucier from his own 39. From the eye will come the Wildcats. Receivers left and right. Stan Sisk with a call across the 40, moves the ball to the 43-yard line. Not a whole lot of running that time for the Wildcats. Let's check the offensive line for Oak Ridge. Chris Black is the center. John Dickens and Josh Young on the offensive side of the things. Kevin Harris and Casey Jones as well. Chad Lucier, the starting quarterback. Lucier, the son of the defensive coordinator of the Wildcats, Bruce Lucier, probably saw a few Farragut games. Actually, he's probably not old enough because he used to coach here. Coach Lucier did. I think that might have been before Chad was actually born. It'll be 2nd down and about 7 yards to go. Single running back. Stan Sisk, screen pass. Complete to Mike Gibson with a blocker in front. 1st down at the 50, to the 45, to the 40-yard line. Down the sideline he goes. 30, 25-yard line. Mike Gibson scores. Farragut not even watching that play. They have Mike Gibson out there. There was nobody on him. A miscommunication and a poor defensive call that time for Farragut, and it's 1st and 10 Wildcats.
Well, it really was, David. I'm anxious to see if that was an actual play called or if that was just something that Chad Lucier saw. There was trips on the left side of the field, and there was only 2 defenders out there. So I don't know if it's something that Chad just thought, hey, you know, let's get him the ball, if that was a play. But if it was, whichever it was, it worked very, very, very well.
From the 28-yard line of Farragut, 1st down, 10 yards to go. Bohannon once again in the pattern. The Wildcats with 4 receivers. The single running back is Sisk. 1st and 10 Wildcats. Here's the pass. Once again, it's complete this time to Bohannon. Bohannon cuts inside 20, down to the 15, down to the 13-yard line. Another 1st down. And once again, Oak Ridge, for the 2nd consecutive play, has picked up major yardage on the same play. 1st and 10 Oak Ridge.
Well, David, that's just smart football right there. There's not anybody over there defending. At that time, there was twins over there. Had 2 receivers and only 1 person over there defending. So that's just, I mean, very, very smart football.
13-0 Oak Ridge on top. We're under 5 minutes to play. play in the first half. Jason McCadley and Sean Bohannon to the left. Mike Gibson and Vel Brock here to the right. Stan Sisk behind quarterback Chad Lucier. 1st and 10, Oak Ridge from the 13 of the Admirals. Here's Stan Sisk. Here's Stan at the 10. Stan at the 5. Tackled at that point. It'll be close to another first down. It'll be 2nd down and about 2, maybe 3 yards to go as Sisk carries the ball. Sean Bohannon's carried for quite a few yards in this one. I'll look back to Mark Hayes for Stan Sisk. Stan Sisk in the ball game has 38 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 2 yards to go. I tell you, it's so loud in the press box. I was trying to get Mark's attention. He's a good 5 feet behind us, and it's unable. We're really having trouble communicating because there's 3 radio stations in here, just totally loaded down with people watching this struggle. 2nd down, 2 yards to go. 4 minutes to play in the first half. Under center, Mike Gibson at quarterback. From the eye once again, Gibson will roll to his right, hand it off to Sisk, who picks up the first down. As Coach Gaddis has said, Mike Gibson will come in short yardage situations this season. Mike in at quarterback.
Well, it's a great strategy, too. You know, he comes in and runs the option very well. There's nothing now but just it's just a veer out of the eye. Come up, you read the defensive tackles. The defensive tackle stays there or comes down. You keep it. That time that he came up the field, Mike Gibson gets the ball to Stan Sisk, picks up the first down. Oak Ridge has the ball 1st and 1 from the 1-yard line.
Up to the line they'll come. The tight end for the Wildcats to the left side is Jim Watson. The Wildcats from the eye, McCadley, tight end to the right. Everybody closed in. Slot to the left from the eye, and there's movement and there's flags. 3:22 to play. We're in the first half. Oak Ridge on top 13-0, and another penalty going to be called against the Wildcats, so that'll cost them 5. And it's different plays like that that really irritate Coach Gaddis. It'll be 1st down, goal to go now at the 6-yard line. Mark Hayes, our statistician, will have his statistics at halftime. We'll also have Nathan Forbes back in the studios with scores of other games. We might take a listen to the Oak Ridge Band as they perform tonight. We'll have highlights at the conclusion of our broadcast. I'll speak to Coach Joe Gaddis, and we might even try to get some interviews if we can coax some people up into the stands. 1st down, goal to go for the Wildcats at the 6. Gibson rolls to his right, cuts it inside 5, spins at the 3, dives at the 1. Does he score? He's just a little bit short. Mike Gibson, a nice little run, moves the ball all the way down to around the 1-yard line where it'll be 2nd down, goal to go for the Wildcats.
Well, you know, he's going to have his name in the paper. He's caught a ball, he's run back punts, he's thrown a ball, he's run the ball from scrimmage. I guess every single offensive category that you can have, Mike Gibson's already done. This game's not even in the halftime yet.
2nd down, goal to go for the Wildcats. Here come the Cats to the line. Sisk and Bohannon behind quarterback Mike Gibson. 2nd down, they need a yard for another score. Mike sneaks forward and he scores. Touchdown Oak Ridge. Mike Gibson takes it across from 1 yard out, and Oak Ridge ups their lead to 19-0 with 2 minutes 23 seconds to play in the first half. And the Wildcats, let's see, I'm sure will this time attempt to go for the 2-point conversion. They had tried one previous time, and they were penalized after they actually got it in. And indeed, they'll go for the 2-point conversion. The Wildcats on top, 19-0. That was the final score of last year's ball game, won by the Wildcats at Blankenship Field. Oak Ridge to the line quickly. Chris Black trots to the line. Under the ball he goes. He's the center for the Wildcats. Mike Gibson under center, going for the 2-point conversion. 2:23 to play in the first half. And Mike will roll to his left. Look in the end zone. He dumps it. There's the man. Give him 2 points. Stan Sisk on the reception. And Oak Ridge leads it 21-0. And we'll be back in 60 seconds.
Coming in. We've got the number 3, Granger Maurer.
Back here at Farragut, here's the kick by Granger Maurer. A line drive kick will bounce at the 15. Picked up by Farragut at the 10, to the 20, 25, to the 30-yard line. That's where he's tackled by the Wildcats. So the Farragut's offense on the field. First down, 10 yards to go. So the Wildcats now lead at 21-0, 2:18 to play in the first half. And Farragut has had trouble moving the ball on the ground. They've done better work through the air.
Absolutely, David. You know, they've had 2 big plays. They had the big run, and then had another, I believe it was a reverse or whatever that was they went with. And other than that, they've done absolutely nothing. Oak Ridge has done a great job keeping the momentum going, putting the heat on, 21-0. I just don't think that they can come back from this. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Rollins will pass across the way. Pass is incomplete. Off the intended receiver's
fingertips off of number 17, Mike Smith's hands out there defending Joe Gaddis. Redmond kind of looked, just an interesting play. It looked like it almost went off the fingertips of Gaddis. Joe Gaddis, I don't think he touched it, but it was an interesting looking play. Should have been caught, I think, really. Second down, 10 yards to go. The clock is stopped. 2:13 to play in the first half. 21-0 the score. The Admirals moving from right to left, wearing their blue jerseys, silver pants. The Wildcats in white jerseys, cardinal pants, cardinal numerals. Second down and 10 from the 30. Quarterback Rollins turns up the field. Boom! He's sacked at the 28-yard line. Loss of another 2 or 3 yards in the play. The Wildcats came in with Brad Redmond, leading tackler on the team a year ago. He came in hard, sacked Roland. It'll be third down and 11.
Kind of surprised Oak Ridge didn't call timeout after that. They've got one more left with 1 minute 53 seconds left to go in the first half. Kind of thought they might want to stop the clock. If they run the ball this time and it's unsuccessful, I would look for them to call a timeout, David.
Third down, 11 yards to go. Farragut taking as much time as they can here. 1 minute 38 to play. I'm sure they would like to pick up the first down, obviously. Backfield split. Quarterback rolling under center once again. He's a 6 foot, 175-pounder. 4 men on the line. He drops straight back to pass. Setting up the screen pass. It's complete to Reese Snyder. Reese Snyder at the 30 to the 35-yard line. He's short of a first down by, well, I don't know. He's pretty close. It's going to be right at the sticks. They set up that screen pass for the second time. Reese Snyder, I think, does have the first down. It's right at the sticks. I think they're going to have to bring the chains onto the field. They're taking a long look at it, and it looks like they're going to have to bring the chains onto the field. 21-0 Oak Ridge. We're going to signal first down, 10 yards to go for Farragut. Big play for them.
Very well set up too, David. You know, you don't really see a whole lot of screens in high school football. This is the second time that Farragut has run that play. The first one was toward the middle of the field. This one's to the left side. Picks up a big first down.
I feel an interception coming. Rollins will pass. The pass is complete to number 25, Broom. Jake Broom makes the reception. He moves the ball forward for a good gain of 6 or 7 yards as they move the ball up officially to around the 45-yard line. Now Farragut will call a timeout.
And they'll do it this time with 3 wide receivers and 2 running backs.
Back here at Farragut, Rollins will pass, drops back to pass down the field long. There's the man, here's the pass. Touchdown, Farragut! Great play, great throw, and on the reception is Jake Broom. He just cranked it up. Jason Altman defending. Touchdown, Admirals.
Excellent play, David. Roland looks like he rolled out to the right side, looked to the right side, and then all of a sudden came back and threw it back across the grain, all the way across the field. Wonderful throw, great catch. You know, you can't really do a whole lot about that, David.
44 seconds to play. 21-6 our score. Beautifully thrown pass and a nice pattern run by the wide receiver for them, Jake Broom. They'll go for the extra point. 21-6 Oak Ridge on top. The Farragut fans standing in front of us. They'll go for the extra point. Just like that, lightning strikes for the Admirals. Here's the kick. It's up, and the kick, it is good. 44.
Bohan has still got another couple plays left in him.
Back here at Farragut, here's the kick by Farragut. It will be fielded by Sean Bohannon at the 10. Sean Bohannon 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 40-yard line. Down he goes to the 43-yard line. Brought down. First down, 10 yards to go. It looked like Sean was going to take it the full length of the field. Finally dragged down the Wildcats with 36 seconds to get into the end zone.
You know, if you're Farragut, why in the world do you kick the ball to him? I just don't understand. Everybody in the world, you know, everybody in the stadium knows what he can do, and then here they are, you know, trying to kick the ball deep, David. I don't see that makes a whole lot of sense.
36 seconds to play. New rule: the clock does not start until the play is underway. It normally last year would have started from the I formation. The pitch will go to Sean Bohannon. Bohannon across the 45 to the 50-yard line. Cuts to the outside, still on his way to the Farragut 46-yard line. Picks up a first down with 28 seconds to play, and the Wildcats will call a timeout. We're going to take a quick one ourselves. 26 seconds to play. First half, Oak Ridge up 21-7. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Brock to the left as well. Stan Six, the lone back. Here's the pass. It's incomplete. Off the fingertips of Mike Gibson. Once again, he had plenty of running room out there. I guess it's kind of one of those situations where who do you cover? Do you put 2 guys on Sean Bohannon? What do you do with the guys on the other side of the field? That one was intended for Mike Gibson, just couldn't hold on to it.
That's tough, you know, something too when you do it, when you spread the field like that. It also, you know, you've got one guy in the backfield, that's the Stan Sisk. It opens the trap up for him too.
Second down, 10 yards to go, 22 seconds to play. Chad will pass. Here's some pressure. Here's the pass across the way. Incomplete. Overthrown, intended for Vel Brock. It'll be third down, 10 yards to go. Heavy pressure that time. Chad had to really rush to get that pass off, and he sailed on him a little bit. It'll be third down, 10 yards to go. The ball at the Farragut 45-yard line. So now you're looking at a long situation here. Third down, 10 yards to go. 17 seconds on the clock. Vel Brock and Mike Gibson receivers to the far left. Wildcats with Jason McAdley and Sean Bohannon here to the right. Siska, the lone running back, third down and 10 from the 45-yard line. And Chad will drop back to pass. Not as much pressure. Goes down the field. There's a man wide open. Here's the pass. It's up for grabs. It's going to be incomplete. Almost intercepted by Farragut. 9 seconds to play, 21-7 our score. When he first broke free, he was wide open, but the pass was so high up in the air, it was then a jump ball for the ball. It's fourth down and 10.
Well, that brings up an interesting dilemma. What do you do now? It's fourth and 10 from the 45-yard line. Do you go for it? Do you try to kick it and give the ball to them one more time? If you don't make it, at least Farragut's going to have the ball at least for one more play. But they are going to go for it.
Yeah, I wouldn't give the ball to them at all. In 9 seconds, tick off pretty quick. Fourth down, 10 yards to go. This time from the straight eye, they'll come. Let's see if they just go with the toss sweep to Sean Bohannon. Let's see if he can take it. No, Chad's going to pass. Down the way, here's Vel Brock. He's being held. Here's the pass up. He makes the reception out of bounds. 2 seconds to play. The time has expired here. No more time on the clock here in the first half. Oak Ridge on top, 21-7. I think there should be about 2 seconds left on the clock. I think there should be 2 seconds. As I looked up there, he went out of bounds at 2 seconds, and 21-7 the score. And it looks like they are having the discussion with the officials. I saw 2 seconds up on the clock when he went out of bounds, and that should be exactly what Farragut should have. Are they going to give them the 2? I don't believe so. They're going to end the half that way. Walking out there, that the official was holding him up as he went out there, but he kind of...
He had the defense pumped up on every play. Was a whole lot of fun to watch.
And we're about to get underway. Sean Bohannon standing back at the 5-yard line. 21-7. Oak Ridge on top. And Farragut about to kick off to the Wildcats. Oak Ridge will be receiving, moving from right to left as we start play here in the third quarter. The ball is on the tee, and the second half is about underway. The ball has just fallen off the tee. So we have a little hesitation in the start of the second half. I want to remind everybody, at the conclusion of the game, I'll be speaking to Joe Gaddis, head coach of the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats. We'll have scores of other ball games. We'll have the final statistics. We'll also have the scoring summary as the ball has fallen off the tee once again. 2 times, maybe the third time will be the charm, as once again he positions it on the tee, and this second half eventually about to get underway. The ball stays up, and we're about to have the kick of the second half. Here it comes. It's an onside kick. It's going to be fielded before the 10 yards. They're going to say it's all the way down at the 49-yard line. He grabbed the ball well before the 10 yards, and that's going to be Oak Ridge getting possession. He just got on it. It was if he had just let it bounce one more little bounce, he would have gotten possession.
Absolutely, a very, very, very good call by the officials. There was nobody around there. All the guy had to do was just let it go another half yard. It would have been Farragut's ball. But he ended up, it's hard to tell when you're running down trying to find the ball and what yard line you're on. But Oak Ridge got a huge break that time, David.
Great field position. They'll start this drive in Farragut territory at the 49-yard line. 12 minutes exactly on the clock. The third quarter about to get set. 21-7 Oak Ridge. Vel Brock, Mike Gibson wide to the right. Sean Bohannon and Jason McAdley here to the near side. The Wildcats moving from right to left. Single running back is Stan Sis. Pass complete. Mike Gibson gets the block to the outside 40. Inside 35. Down he goes to the 30-yard line of Farragut. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go for the Wildcats. That little screen pass once again complete. And Mike Gibson gains about 20 yards, and it'll be first down, 10 yards to go.
That's a great way to come out into the second half, David. Chad Lucia had a wonderful pass. Mike Gibson just looking at the quarterback, and he puts it on his right side, which is going upfield. So Mike Gibson is actually running when he gets it, and they had a great block, and probably from his could have been from his tight end, maybe on a tackle out there to spring him free. Picks up about 22 yards.
McAdley and Bohannon to the right, Vel Brock and Gibson to the left. Once again, Oak Ridge, first and 10 from the 31. Handoff, Stan Sisk lowers his shoulder, moves the ball to the 30-yard line, gained about 2. It'll be second down and 8 yards to go. So Farragut doing a better job this time as they stop Stan for only a yard gain. 11:15 to play, third quarter, 21-7. Oak Ridge on top. There's always one in the crowd, Scott, and he's right in front of us.
Well, you got to love those air horns.
It'll be the ball just inside across the 30-yard line. It'll be second down, 9 yards to go. Brock and Gibson to the right. Once again, Oak Ridge from the I this time. Sisk and Bohannon from the 30-yard line. Senior quarterback Chad Lucier under center. Second and 9, the pitch will go to Bohannon. Big block from Stan Sisk. He's at the 25, cuts outside 20, back inside 15. Back he goes to the 10-yard line. Down he goes to the 7-yard line. It'll be Oak Ridge first down, goal to go. Once again, Sean Bohannon picking and choosing his hill. Got a big block on the right side by his fullback, Stan Sisk. It'll be, let's see, first down, goal to go for the Wildcats.
That's another great run on the sweep that time for Sean Bohannon. Went to the right side this time, and looks like he's hobbled just a little bit. He's limping. I don't know if he's limping or maybe it looks like maybe a shoe is off or something.
Either way, he's trying to stretch it out. I think you're right. I don't think it's his shoe. I think he is slightly hobbled. He's trying to stretch out perhaps a cramp as he comes to the line. Now he appears to be okay. From the I, first down, goal to go for the Wildcats. The ball at the 5-yard line. Here's the pitch to Bohannon. Big hole. He cuts to the outside. He's tripped up at around the 5-yard line. Just didn't get to the outside, and he might be hobbled a little bit. I think Coach Gaddis and the staff might want to take a look at him because he's definitely trying to stretch out what appears to be perhaps a cramp.
I believe you're right, David. I don't know if the coaching staff has seen it or not, but he's staying in. It looks like he's walking okay. He's probably just had a little cramp. It looks like it's out by now.
The Wildcats with the ball, second down, goal to go. The line of scrimmage is at just inside the 5, 9:42 and counting. It's already 21-7 Oak Ridge. We're in the third quarter, opening drive of this quarter. From the I, Oak Ridge, and Gibson will roll to his right, looks in the end zone, has some receivers. He'll run the ball himself. Now he'll throw. The man is there. It's incomplete. Gibson looked as if he was going to run it. Then he looked into his end zone at Stan Sisk, and the pass is incomplete. Third down, goal to go at the 5.
Well, y'all like that call. You know, we just talked about Bohannon being maybe a little hobbled. He's still stretching that thing down there, but Mike Gibson rolls out on a little bootleg. It's actually like a naked bootleg, and looked like he was going to run it at the last minute. Threw the ball, probably threw it just a little bit too crisp for Stan Sisk to hold on to. Gibson in at quarterback. As we mentioned, the ball's at the 5-yard line. It's going to be a penalty against Oak Ridge. And they're going to say that he had already crossed over the line of scrimmage, and they'll penalize the Wildcats. So 9:27 to play. The penalty is back out to around the 8-yard line, where it'll be third down, goal to go, making it a little bit more difficult for the Wildcats. Coach Gaddis will send the play in momentarily. He elects to call a timeout. 21-7 Oak Ridge, back in 60 goal from the 9. And Lucier will roll to his left, cuts it inside. There's the man in the end zone, Vail Brock. Oh, he can't make the catch. That would have been 6. He looked in the end zone. Vail came free. Nobody even around him. Unable to make the connection, and Oak Ridge will go for the field goal. Into the game will come Granger Marler to attempt the field goal. It's fourth down, goal to go at the 9-yard line. Chad Lucier will hold for the Wildcats. Granger will attempt. 21-7 Oak Ridge on top. We're in the third quarter. 9:19 to play. The ball will be down at around the 16-yard line, making this a 26-yard field goal attempt for Granger. Good snap. Here's the hold. The kick is up, and the kick looks good. It is. Granger Mahler splits the uprights, and Oak Ridge leads at 20. Second half. Or did he play? Didn't carry the ball.
Here's Marler to kick off. Granger Marler kicking the ball. It's
Here's the kick by Granger Marler. It goes out of bounds at around the 13-yard line, actually the 17-yard line. The flag goes down there. 24-7. The Wildcats had it first and goal, and a penalty. The penalty assessed against the Wildcats quarterback, Mike Gibson, costly. They did get 3 points out of it. They do lead it 24-7.
Well, sure, you know, that's the big thing. You want to get points every time you catch the ball. The big penalty, you know, actually, you know, it's a 5-yard penalty. I thought that was a 15-yard penalty when you did that, so I guess that's good. It shows my ignorance. But they end up with a field goal, which is a heck of a lot better than 0.
First down, 10 yards to go for the Farragut Admirals. They'll come with 2 receivers here to the near side. Rolling with pitch to his running back, number 2. Is hit and dropped to the line of scrimmage. Carrying the ball for Farragut is Hunter Rigsby. Rigsby carries. Thank you, Coach Jill Pruden, bringing me a Coke up here, and I tell you, you just can't. You know, she's the head coach of the Lady Wildcats, and she's nice enough to bring me a Coke.
What a gal.
Second down, 10 yards to go for Farragut. The ball at the 35-yard line. 8 minutes, 45 seconds and counting. Third quarter, 24-7. Oak Ridge on top of Farragut. They'll send two receivers here to the near side. Single man to the left. Backfield split behind Rollins. Second down 10 for their own 35-yard line. Farragut now moving from left to right. Rollins drops straight back to pass across the way. The pass incomplete. Should have been caught. Mike Gibson might have made a little contact with it. Pass is incomplete. A nice pattern, just didn't hold on to the ball. And Farragut has had a few drops in this one.
Yeah, you know, like we said, you know, we talked to some people before the game and said that Farragut has no receivers that can catch the ball. There's a prime example there. He just threads the needle. Wonderful play. That would have been a big play right there, and the guy has it right in his hands and drops it. Big break for Oak Ridge.
Third down, 10 yards to go. Remember, following the game, I'll be speaking to Joe Gaddis, head coach of the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats. We'll hope you'll stay tuned for that. Third down, 10 yards to go for Farragut. Once again, they have two receivers here closest to us. Rollins will pass across the middle. Same pass. He dropped it again. Pass intended for number 17, Mike Smith, and it's incomplete. Fourth down and 10.
Well, David, they came with the exact same play. That ball was catchable. It was a whole lot lower than the first one, but he still, the same receiver drops another ball. Brings up fourth down and 10, and Farragut's going to have to punt.
Coach Courtney's kind of interesting. It's like try until you succeed. That's about the third time they've had a play that went awry. The first time that he went right back to it the very next play.
Well, we'll see that play again because it looks like there's a seam there.
Across the way there. They're working on Mike Gibson, and Jason Altman is standing back at the 30-yard line preparing to return the Oak Ridge kick. Farragut will be punting, trailing 24-7, 8:24 to play in the third quarter. And Altman standing back at the 30. Here's the snap. Here's some pressure. Here's the kick. They take him down. It's to be roughing the kicker as Altman returns the ball to the 37-yard line. But roughing the kicker on the Wildcats, and it's a good call because he came in and just leveled the punter, and the punter hasn't gotten up yet. And I think a tough break for the Wildcats. He got in there quick, did Rocky Remind, but he's going to be penalized, and Farragut will take over first and 10.
That's, I mean, it's definitely a good call. You know, there's no doubt what the penalty is going to be about roughing the kicker. Rocky Remind comes in. It was hard. I don't know if he was blocked into him or not, but comes in there full speed. You know, and the kicker he's up and okay, 15 yards, and that will be enough to give Farragut a first down.
Let's check the defense for the Wildcats. The linebackers, Brad Redmond, as indeed they stepped the penalty off against the Wildcats, and it's a big one all the way up to midfield, so it keeps their drive going. 24-7 our score. The secondary includes Joe Gaddis, Bill Brock, Mike Gibson back in there, and it looks like Jason Altman. The rush ends for the Wildcats. I see Pendergrass here on the left side. And it looks like Tommy Johnston on the right. The Wildcats also have on the line, looks like Jared Carell down there, and I couldn't see the other lineman for the Wildcats. The linebackers are Rocky Remind. They're going to penalize the Wildcats yet another 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct call, moving the ball down to the 35-yard line. So Farragut, with consecutive penalties called against Oak Ridge, has it first down, 10 yards to go at the 35-yard line of Oak Ridge.
Well, David, that's interesting. You know, I don't know what happened. I don't know if one of the coaches said something or what, but I certainly didn't see anything that would represent another 15-yard penalty. Evidently, well, of course, we're a long way from the field, but it happened, and it's first and 10 from the 35.
Up to the line, Rollins will hand it off for a good yardage. Then the hole closes quickly as he's decked at the 35-yard line. Bill Pendergrass, Brad Redmond around there for the stop. The Wildcats also have, I didn't get the other lineman in, Travis Whitson, number 65 is in the ball game. Out of the contest and back in the game will come number 57, Chris Hood at linebacker for the Wildcats. Jameel Dyes out there for the Wildcats. Brad Redmond, and I think Rocky Remind's on the sideline right now. Altman, Brock, McCadley in the secondary along with Gaddis. Second down, 9 yards to go. Rollins at quarterback. Drops back to pass. Here's one across the way. Pass complete at the 15-yard line. Great throw. Great catch by Farragut. Nice reception by Rudy Smith. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go for the Admirals.
That's a nice throw and catch. Once again, they run that quick post. They've run it to their right side, I guess 3 or 4 or 5 times. First time I remember them run it to the backside, then big first down. You know, 24-7. If they score a touchdown here, we definitely got another football game on our hands.
Up to the line of scrimmage, Broom drifting off to the far left. Single man to the right side. Actually, two receivers to the right. Up to the line once again will come Rollins at quarterback, and he'll hand it off. There's a big stick by Pendergrass right at the 15-yard line. No gain on the play. Big stick by the rush in for the Wildcats. The senior drops him for a yard loss. Second down, 11 yards to go. 6:58 and counting in the third quarter. 24-7, Oak Ridge on top. We'll recap the scoring via the play-by-play highlights on Nathan Forbes' highlight show. We'll also have scores of other ball games. Mark Hayes will have his statistics. We'll also have Joe Gaddis up here. Second down, 11 yards to go. The ball at the 16-yard line. Receivers left and right. Two receivers here to the near side as Farragut goes from left to right. Second down and 10. Rollins will pass. Here he is. The pass is weak. It's incomplete. Might have been deflected because it was a weak effort. Gaddis and Redmond defending. Third down, 11 yards to go. Clock is stopped now. 6:29 to play. Third quarter. Oak Ridge on top, 24-7. Mark Hayes has our statistics, as I mentioned. We'll recap the scoring here in a few short moments. The Wildcats got out to a 21-0 lead. Farragut knocking on the door once again. They have the ball at the 16-yard line of Oak Ridge. Third down, 11 yards to go. A packed house here at Farragut High School. Next week, we'll travel to Middle Tennessee as Oak Ridge takes on Gallatin. Timeout is asked for by Farragut. Let's take one ourselves. Back in 60 seconds. Back here at Farragut High School, third down, 10 yards to go. Farragut at the Oak Ridge 15-yard line. Three receivers here to the near side, a single man to the left. Rollins drops back to pass. Here he is, sacked, baby. He tries to get the pass off. He was in the grass. They're going to put him down way back at the 20-yard line. The first time, I think, tonight, the Wildcats got great penetration. Big loss on the play.
It really was. It looked like that was Mr. Dickens in there. I believe that most of the defensive line was in there. The quarterback was wrapped up and actually got an arm and tried to throw it, but the good call by the referees for calling him down.
Fourth down, 16 yards to go. They're moving backwards. It's at the 20-yard line. Up to the line, Rollins waiting for the play from the new head coach, Eddie Courtney, who's rolled the dice on two different occasions in this ball game, and I think that didn't work out for him. They went for an onside kick. They didn't get it. That would have worked. They went for a fourth down play earlier. They have to go for it here. They're down 24-7. They need 16 yards to go for a first. Three receivers to the right, a single man to the left. Rollins with a single running back, drops straight back to pass. Rolling to his right, running for his life, turns to left field. He'll not get the first down. He is driven down hard. Oak Ridge will take over. First down, 10 yards to go. He needed to get to around the 5-yard line. There was no way in the world he was going to pick up the first down, and the Oak Ridge offense will come out onto the field.
It was a great job of pursuit that time. You know, you work on pursuit drill, and it's a great time to use it there. The quarterback, he never really even, I don't even think he looked downfield. You knew he was going to run it from the get-go. He may have picked up 1 or 2 yards, but he's definitely not going to get the 15 or 16 that he needed for the first down. Oak Ridge will take over on their own 10-yard line.
Up to the line will come the Wildcats. Chad Lucier in at quarterback. Sean Bohannon the tailback. Stan Sisk will be the fullback. And Scott, help me on the line if anything's changed as the Wildcats come to the line. Chris Black, the center, the first man there. Receivers to the left, Gibson and Velbrock. Two receivers, Bohannon and McCadley to the right. Sisk the lone running back. First and 10. Sisk gets the call. 10, 15. Sisk up to around the 20-yard line. Stan Sisk carrying the ball, rumbling forward for big yardage. Gains about 9 yards on the play. It'll be second down and about a yard to go for the Wildcats. Stan Sisk, the fullback, carries the ball just shy of the 20. Second down and a yard to go.
Stan's had a big night tonight. He's already carried the ball probably 12 or so times. I'm sure our statistician Mark Hayes has caught a couple 60 yards on 10 carries. Very big night for Stan Sisk.
I formation Oak Ridge. Second down, a yard to go. 4:54 to play, third quarter. Chad Lucier from the 19-yard line. The pitch will go to Bohannon. Bohannon 20, 25, 30. Cuts to the outside if he can go. He breaks the tackle but can't go the distance. He does pick up the first down all the way up to the 36-yard line. Just grabbed him by the jersey and was able to slow him up and drag him down, or I thought he might have, if he had gotten to the outside, he might have gone the distance.
Well, I believe you're right, David. I believe he was on his way. Great tackles. You know, some guy grabbed him by the jersey and just hung on for dear life. And it's interesting to see a guy downfield about 20 yards blocking was Chad Lucier, a quarterback up there blocking on a sweep. So it's good to see him contributing in his blocking as well as throwing in the rest of his duties.
172 yards in the ball game for Sean Bohannon. First down, 10 yards to go from the 35-yard line of the Cats. Single running back. Here's the screen pass complete. Here it goes to Bohannon, I believe, at the 40. Breaks the tackle to the 43-yard line. as Sean Bohannon continues to move the ball up the field, whether it be on the receiving end or rushing the football. It'll be a gain on the play of about 5. It'll bring up second down and a long 4 to go for it first. 3:56 to play, third quarter. Oak Ridge on top, 24-7 over the Farragut Admirals. Wildcats have the ball at the 42-yard line, moving from right to left. McCadley and Bohannon here to the near side. Brock and Gibson to the right. Single running back assist from the eye. They have gone seldom tonight. They've just gone with their single running back, and that single back gets the call. That'll be the fullback. Stan Siskey brings the ball all the way to midfield. First down, 10 yards to go. The Wildcats have so many weapons, Scott.
Absolutely, and that's the thing you look at when you look at this team. You know, they've got so many people that can hurt you, and then you got Stan Sisk back there who has just made a killing tonight, just running that little trap. It's the only play he's run tonight, or has run the trap. You know, each time he's picking up 5, 6, and usually they're big first down yards as well.
Farragut risking going 0-2 to start the new season for Eddie Courtney, the new head coach. First down, 10 yards to go from midfield. Here come the Wildcats now from the straight eye. Sisk and Bohannon, Lucier under center. We'll hand it off to Mike Gibson. Gibson around the 50, cuts to the outside, to the 45, tries to break a tackle, squirts forward to the 43-yard line of Farragut. It'll gain about 7 on the play. It'll be second down at about 3. Nice run again by Mike Gibson. There's another one of those weapons, Scott.
Another one, you know, you look, you know, the whole lineup is a weapon. The offensive line, you know, which is so easy to overlook, has done a tremendous job. You know, especially look at those traps and how many yards that Stan Sisk has gained on the trap, and then you look at the yards that Bohannon has got on the sweep. The offensive line has done well, and of course we overlooked them very, very, very easily.
24-7 Oak Ridge on top, 2:28 and counting in the third quarter. Oak Ridge second down, about 2 yards to go, and Lucier will pitch to Bohannon. Bohannon first down 40, 35-yard line 30, cuts inside 25, down to the 23-yard line. Oak Ridge running back Sean Bohannon, I believe, has gone over the 200-yard mark on that carry. So for the second consecutive game, Sean Bohannon over 200 yards as he brings the ball to the 24-yard line. 2:16 to play. Very, very close, Mark says. Not quite 200 as the Wildcats have it. First down, 10 yards to go. The line of scrimmage will be the 24. 2:07 and counting. The Wildcats quickly to the line. McCadley drifting to the right side, along with Sean Bohannon. Bill Brock and Mike Gibson here to the near side. Up to the line, Oak Ridge. Lucier, first and 10. Stan Sisk from the 24. Under center for a while. We'll hand it off to Stan. This time, no place to go. Stan might even lost a yard on the play. It'll be second down and about maybe 10, maybe even 11 yards to go.
Well, I think Chad Lucier saw that coming. It looks like he was almost wanting to check off, or maybe wanting to call a timeout. Had the trap called, and then all the linemen, it looks like the linebackers came in and just stacked up the middle. Probably would have been wise to maybe check off, maybe even call a timeout, but they may not have any left.
191 yards for Sean Bohannon as the Wildcats come to the line with Darian Milton and Bill Brock drifting to the right. Second down, 11 yards to go for the Wildcats. The ball at the Farragut 25-yard line. Sisk and Bohannon. Here's the toss sweep to Bohannon. Bohannon moves the ball to the 23-yard line. Coach Gaddis told me, and Sean told us as well on our pregame show, that Sean's worst game ever as an Oak Ridge Wildcat, in his opinion, and Coach Gaddis' opinion, came in the first half of the Farragut game last year. I think that although Sean ended up the game with 172 yards on the ground, he felt it was his worst outing. As you remember, he fumbled a few times in the first half, but Sean really playing outstanding football tonight. Third down, 8 yards to go for the Wildcats. The ball at the Farragut 23-yard line, under a minute to play here in the third quarter. From the eye, Lucier will roll to his right with a blocker in front, might run, cuts it back to the inside and is buried at the 20-yard line. It'll be fourth down and about 5 yards to go as Lucier goes down, tried to run behind the blocking of John Dickens, and the Wildcats will bring Granger Marler out on the field to attempt another field goal. Oak Ridge on top 24-7 with 19 seconds to play. Let's see if they even have to get the play off. Granger will put the tee down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a 37-yard field goal attempt. 7 seconds to play in the third quarter. I don't think they're going to have to get the play off before the third quarter comes to a close. The third quarter comes to a close. Our score, Oak Ridge on top 24-7, and we'll be back in 90 seconds. And do you think that I should... back here at Farragut, Granger Marler attempting a field goal. 37 yards. It's high. It's long. Is it good? Yes! Nice kick. Granger Marler, he splits the uprights in his second field. Oak Ridge to kick off. Again, Granger Marler's put a few in the end zone. He kicked one out of bounds. Let's see what he can do. He's got to be pumped. He's nailed a couple of field goals. He hits this one. Knuckleball, fielded and fumbled at the 5, picked up at the 10, down the right sideline, 15, 20, driven out of bounds at around the 23-yard line. The Wildcats level him at that point. They Farragut, first down, 10 yards to go, 11:48 to play in the game. Oak Ridge on top of Farragut, 27-7.
But, you know, getting back to the kicking game, you know, you look at Oak Ridge's first 3 kickoffs. The first kickoff goes in the end zone. The second one goes in the end zone. The third one that they kicked off, the guy, you know, goes right up to about the 1 foot yard line, the 1 foot line, and the guy brings it up and ends up getting about 14 yards. So you're starting off on the 20, and about the 14-yard line. That's just outstanding for your defense to come into and actually set up 2 touchdowns.
4-man front for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge back out on defense. Farragut down now 20, 27-7. The pitch will go to their running back. Tries to get around the corner, and he is leveled by Brad Redmond along with Joe Gaddis at the 25-yard line. It's a Reese Snyder carrying the ball. He gains about 4. It'll be second down and 6. And Reese Snyder's got a little quickness, not a lot of size, only standing at about 5'6". At the 25-yard line, as looks like Shane Wiseman coming out of the ball game for the Wildcats. Secondary has McCadley in there. Up to the line will come Farragut. Second down and 6. Rollins will pass. Rolling to his right. Fires it down the way. The pass is well overthrown. Incomplete. It'll be third down, 6 yards to go. And I'm really impressed with their quarterback. He hadn't ever thrown a pass, really. In fact, I understand all he ever did was hold for the kickers last year. But he's got a pretty good arm.
He has a very good arm. You know, has a lot of savvy back there. He looks like he knows when to throw it, where to throw it, and has a pretty quick release. He doesn't, you know, hold on to the ball a long time, which is something that, you know, you cannot do in high school football.
9 of 16 for 111 yards is Rollins passing for Farragut. Third down and 6 from the 25-yard line of the Admirals. Backfield split. Their quarterback under center, dropping back to pass. He'll hand it off in the reverse. The man wants to throw it right back. Now he's in trouble, running for his life. Tries to turn the corner. He is drilled, dropped. He'll lose yardage, about 5. They tried to go with the razzle-dazzle. Number 43 went back. He wanted to throw the ball. The Wildcats were all over Rudy Smith. It'll be a big loss on the play. And Farragut, I don't think they have the athletes to do those kind of things.
Well, that was just not a very well set up play. I think, I mean, it took so long for the reverse to get there. By the time he got the ball, everybody in the world knew it was going to be some type of a razzle-dazzle play. It just wasn't set up very well, and obviously it didn't work. Brings up fourth and about 11. Oak Ridge will get the ball. Very, very good field position right here.
Jason Altman standing back at the 45-yard line. He's back to receive the punt from the Farragut Admirals. 27-7. The snap is over his head. It's rolling in the end zone. It goes out of the end zone. That's a safety. Give 2 more points to the Cats. And Oak Ridge now leads it by a score of 29-7. That snap sailed, and really the punter did a good job. Instead of allowing Oak Ridge to come in and perhaps get a touchdown, he just took it out of the end zone for the safety.
Yeah, it really did, David. You can see that play sending a lot of Farragut people home. It looks like a lot.
Score, and the Wildcats will be receiving the kick from Farragut. Free kick from the 20. Farragut and Bohannon standing back at his own 25. 29-7 Oak Ridge. Still 10 minutes to play in the ball game here from Farragut. The ball fell off the tee once again, so play is halted. I'll interview Coach Joe Gaddis at the conclusion of the broadcast. We'll have scores of other ball games, Mark Haste and his statistics. Stay tuned as Farragut prepares to kick off the Oak Ridge standing student section. Look at those guys across the way, gals and guys across there. Up and down they go, and just an outstanding group of students across the way supporting the Wildcats. The band's playing, and Oak Ridge is up 29-7. Here's the kick, line drive in the middle of the field, picked up by Oak Ridge at the 35, to the 40, 45, 50, to the 40-yard line. That's Brad Redmond. He breaks to the outside 30, 25, 20. Brad Redmond all the way down to the 15-yard line of Farragut. First down, 10 yards to go for the Wildcats. The backup tailback is able to return it. Outstanding return for Redmond. First and 10 Wildcats.
You know, we don't get a chance to talk about Brad Redmond as a tailback. Of course, you know, he does an admiral job when he's back there. Ends up gets fields the ball about the 30-yard line, just goes straight up the field, makes a couple jukes, and a wonderful kickoff return by Brad Redmond.
29-7 Oak Ridge, 10 minutes to play. The Wildcats at the 16-yard line, 1st and 10. Lucier comes to the line. The Wildcats with a new tailback. It's Kiki Houston, I do believe, in the ball game. Wildcats with Lucier still at quarterback. Handoff, fullback. He breaks free across the 15. Down there he goes to around the 12-yard line. Carrying the ball, the Oak Ridge fullback Stan Sisk, and the Wildcats knocking on the door yet another time as the Wildcats already lead it 29-7, 9:45 and counting in the ball game here at Farragut. David Clary, Scott Munger, Mark Hayes, Nathan Forbes, our engineer back at the station. Roger Eichelberger on camera, along with Brian Hartman, Chad Kroll, and Philip Leander. 2nd down, 4 yards to go. I formation, receivers left and right. Quarterback, Lucier, rolling to his right. We'll dump it off. The pass is incomplete. I didn't see who it was intended for, but I tell you, at least 4 Admirals were all over Chad, and he had to get rid of the ball. 3rd down, then about 4.
David, I'm not exactly sure what happened on that play either, but it looks like that was designed like a little bitty quick. It was a sprint draw, and then it looks like all the linemen were going to release and then just go ahead and maybe to set up something downfield. But that was a kind of weird-looking play.
The ball's at around the 16 or 17-yard line. The Wildcats have had to settle, although there have been outstanding field goals by Granger Marler, but they haven't gotten in the end zone with a touchdown this half. 3rd down, 4 yards to go. Lucier rolling to his left, hands it off to Sisk, and he has no place to go. It'll be 4th down again. That's kind of a good sign for Farragut, but the Wildcats haven't been able to get into the end zone with 6 points here in the second half.
Yeah, it really has. You know, Oak Ridge has been down here. I know this is 3 times in a row that they've been knocking on and had a long 4th down conversion. Looks like Oak Ridge may be going for it. In fact, they're going to take a timeout to talk about it. We'll take one ourselves. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Back here at Farragut, 4th down and 5. The Wildcats, Chad Lucier will run the ball forward and not pick up the 1st down. You know, interesting fact still, Scott, the Wildcats have yet to punt here in 1996 as they go for another 4th down play. It does not go for a 1st down, and Farragut will take over. 29-7 Oak Ridge on top.
You know, we talked about to Coach Gaddis about that after the game last week that they didn't punt. And now, of course, you know, going 8 minutes left to go in the game, they've not punted in this one. And so in 2 games, you're right, you know, have not punted. I wonder how long that can go up, can continue.
You know, I honestly cannot remember 2 consecutive games where Oak Ridge has not punted at least once in a ball game. I don't ever remember that happening.
I guess the punter feels like the Sears repairman or the Maytag repairman back there.
Well, it's Jason Altman. He's at least gotten into the ball game.
Exactly.
Backfield split. Rollins under center. Farragut 1st and 10. Their pass is complete to Broom, and he is swept under at the 15-yard line. Gain of about maybe 5 or so. 8:45 and counting in the ball game. 29-7 Oak Ridge on top. The Wildcats have scored in an interesting fashion here in the second half. 2 field goals, one of 27 yards, the other of 37 yards, and a safety. 2nd down, 4 yards to go. For Farragut, the ball at the 17-yard line. The Farragut Admirals moving from right to left, trailing 29-7 on their home field. Up to the line they'll come. Backfield split with 2 receivers to the right. Single man here to the left, 4-man front. Rollins will pass. Pass is, did he make the catch? I think he did. At the 25, and that's a 1st down. I see Rob Markman has come into the game as a linebacker for the Wildcats, just to name a couple of other players in the ball game. Fine reception. He's well over 130 yards passing, I do believe, in the ball game. That's a 9-yard pickup. 1st down, 10 yards to go for Farragut. 7:58 and counting. Farragut, backfield split, receivers to the left and to the right. Rollins under center from the 26-yard line. This time they'll run it, and he gets about 3 or 4 yards and breaks a couple tackles, moves the ball across the 30, up to around the 33-yard line, gain of perhaps 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5 yards to go. We're on Tennessee Cablevision Channel 12 tonight. I'd like to thank Dan Childs and the people at Tennessee Cablevision for allowing our broadcast to be simulcast on their digital ads. We're also on AM 1290 WATO, the voice of the Wildcats since 1948. And no, Scott, I have not been the voice since 1948. 2nd down, 3 yards to go.
49.
Up to the line, Rollins, he'll pass. Here's the pass sailing on him. It goes in between the fingertips of the intended receiver, Broom. Gibson and Gaddis defending for the Wildcats. 3rd down, 3. Clock stopped now. 7:11 to play in the ball game. Farragut will open up their season 0-2.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. Farragut, of course, this is a team that went to, the semifinals last year. They ended up losing to Riverdale. Right. And, here they are starting off the season. Now, they have played Powell, which is a very good football team, and Oak Ridge, obviously, is going to be a good football team. So we'll really see what they're going to be made of next week.
Third down, about 3 yards to go. Backfield split. Rollins under center. We got 5 men on the line for the Wildcats. 2 receivers here to the near side. Rollins will pass. Here it is across the way, complete. 45-50 up to the 48-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go. Velbrock makes the stop back there. I think Jason Altman around the play as well. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go for Farragut. The ball just across midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 minutes to play. 29-7. Oak Ridge on top. Farragut moving the ball through the air at the 49-yard line, first and 10.
I'm sure Mark will tell us, but I'm anxious to see how many yards rushing the Oak Ridge has given up in the last 2 games. It's probably not even 100 yards.
144 yards through the air for Farragut as they break through right across for a 10-yard gain up to the 40-yard line. The Wildcats now thinking pass, and Reef Snyder moves the ball to the 39. 6:35 and counting. Farragut on the march here. First down, 10 yards to go for the Admirals as they march down the field against the Wildcats. 29-7, Oak Ridge will be 2-0. I know the defense has only given up a touchdown last week, and given up only a touchdown to this point. Would like to keep them out as Lee Younger is in the ball game as they rush in to our right. I see Rob Bartman in there, a linebacker. Up to the line will come Farragut. 2 receivers to the right, a single man to the left. First and 10. Movement on the line by the Wildcats. Flag down on the play. Big crowd on hand here at Farragut. No surprise. Every time I've ever been here, there's been a big crowd. Most of the fans still in attendance as they'll step the 5-yard penalty off against Oak Ridge, making it a little easier for the Admirals. It'll be first down and 5 yards to go. 6:11 and counting in the ball game from Farragut. Next week, Scott will be on the road at Middle Tennessee to take on Gallatin at Gallatin High School.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one, David. Of course, this one's not over yet, but it's really winding down looking that way.
First down, 5 yards to go from the 33-yard line. Rollins will pass. Down the field long, Jason Altman defending, incomplete. Well overthrown that time. The only person who could have caught it was Jason Altman for the Wildcats. It'll be second down, 5 yards to go. You got a free play essentially on that one. You've got a first and 5. Why not go for it on one play?
Well, too, also you have to wonder, Farragut came out on their first touchdown, their only touchdown, had that long bomb, as you will. And then that's the only time they thrown the ball long. Everything else has been trying to get underneath. You kind of wonder why they didn't come back to the long pass.
65 yards in penalties tonight for the Wildcats. Mark Hayes tells me second down and 5. Rollins rolling to his right, cuts it up the field, gets the first down and tackled at the 28-yard line. I think Joe Gaddis. I'm not really too sure. And it was Tim Miner. It was 19 instead of 18. My apologies to the Miner family. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go for Farragut. The ball in Oak Ridge, inside the Oak Ridge 30 at the 28-yard line. 5.5 minutes to play, 29-7. The Wildcats on top, headed for a win. Right now the Admirals have it. First down, 10 yards to go. Drifting off to the right side for the Admirals, number 17. That'll be Mike Smith along with number 43, Rudy Smith. Backfield split, Reef Snyder back there, and he gets the call. Cuts back inside, works his way down to the 26-yard line. He is so small, he's able to elude the bigger guys coming towards him, and he picks up about 3. It'll be, let's see, Chris Hood there for the stop for Oak Ridge. It'll be second down and about 8.
You kind of get the sense that Farragut's going to be just settled with just scoring here. They're really kind of piddling around. They really should be working the clock a little bit more and throwing the ball. They've run the ball in the last 3 or 4 plays. I don't think they're wanting to win. I think they're just wanting to score on this possession. Second down,
8 yards to go. Rollins under center, 4-man front for the Wildcats. Straight drop, pressure, batted down at the line of scrimmage. Is it a fumble? Did the Wildcats have it? Yes, the Wildcats recover it. He said he was in the act of throwing a pass, but the Wildcats recover it, and Oak Ridge will take over. Pouncing on the ball is Chris Hood, and Rollins said he was in the act of throwing, but obviously according to the officials, he fumbled, and Oak Ridge takes over.
That was a hard call from here, David. His arm was going forward, but it was really hard to tell if it just slipped out of his hands before he got up there, or if he pumped it and it came out, or what. But we'll take it. Oak Ridge takes over on the fumble at about the 36-yard line, first and 10.
Line of scrimmage right at the 36, as Scott mentioned. 4.5 minutes to play. Let's see who's in at quarterback. Mike Ray is going to come in at quarterback. He'll see action for the first time tonight. Darian Milton as a receiver here to the right. Bill Brock to the left. Kiki Houston, the tailback. Let's see who the fullback is. Might be Jameel Dye. Houston gets the call. Houston tries to get around the corner, does. Slips and falls at the 37-yard line. His feet came out from underneath him, working with the first-team fullback, and now I think Stan Sisk is going to come out of the game.
And what a great game for Stan Sisk. I don't know what he carried the ball probably 15 times or so, right at the 80-yard mark, and caught a pass, a two-point conversion. A wonderful game for Stan Sisk. Had a great game blocking as well.
Chris Atkinson is in the ball game now for the Wildcats, as is Jason Altman as a wide receiver. It's Darian Milton drifting out to the left. Oak Ridge with a new fullback. That's Barton Bailey. The tailback is Kiki Houston. 2nd and 8. Wildcats on top, 29-7. The pitch will go to Houston. Houston across the 40 to the 45 to the 50 and breaks to the outside 40, 35, 30, 30-yard line, 25, 20, 15-yard line, scores! Touchdown, Kiki Houston! Kiki Houston, the sophomore, takes it all the way in for another score. Just another example of how outstanding this young man is going to be.
Absolutely. He took the sweep, but made one cut. And, we knew he was quick, but he just outran the free safety. He's got tremendous speed as well. This guy is going to be unbelievable. Every time he comes, he's going to get to carry the ball for Sean Bohannon.
Kiki Houston in 2 scrimmages in the preseason against Powell and Maryville had touchdown runs of over 80 yards in those 2 scrimmage games against Powell and Maryville. And Houston takes it in, and Oak Ridge rolling up the numbers here, 35-7 over Farragut. 3:40 to play in the ball game, and the Admirals will go down to defeat tonight here at Farragut Field. New holder in the ball game for the Wildcats is Matt Collins. Daniel Wetzel to attempt. The ball is up. Daniel Wetzel splits the uprights. Good. And Oak Ridge lays 30.
We have,
Kiki Houston scoring his 2nd touchdown of the season. The first score for the Wildcats touchdown-wise in the second half goes, it's a 62-yarder by Kiki Houston. 63-yard drive, 2 plays, 36-7 Oak Ridge. Here's Wetzel's kick. It's a line drive kick. Will be fielded at the 15 to the 10. 15, 20. There's a big stick by the Wildcats. Didn't make the tackle. And I think that was Greg Adams. The ball is fumbled on the play. Does Oak Ridge have it? No signal as of yet. The Wildcats say they've got it. The ball is in the Wildcats' hands, and Oak Ridge will take over. First down, 10 yards to go at the 23-yard line. Farragut down 36-7, and the Wildcats knocking on the door again.
Well, from where we are, it's definitely hard to see a fumble. Evidently, we saw a whole bunch of people diving in there. I saw Jason McCadley right at the very last minute diving in. I don't know who came up with it. We'll get the chance to see a lot of like Mike Ray and some of the other offensive players in it right now.
36-7 Oak Ridge, the most points ever scored by an Oak Ridge team against Farragut. Came back in 1989 when Oak Ridge won 44-10. Center rolling to his right. Here's the pass, incomplete. Intended, I think, for Chanson Hall, but it was incomplete. The Wildcats have Tyler Harris in the ball game for the Wildcats. Let's see the tailback. Let's see if it's Greg Adams. See if Greg Adams gets a chance to run the ball tonight. Another sophomore tailback, an outstanding prospect himself. 2nd down, 10.
I believe Greg Adams is also a neighbor of mine, a great kid. I really like to see him do well.
3 minutes, 23 seconds to play in the game. 36-7 Oak Ridge. Wildcats with, let's see, Gary Alexander as a wide out to the far left. A single man here to the near side from the eye. Mike Ray under center, handoff to his fullback. Big hole, 20, 25, down to the 10-yard line. 15 to the 10-yard line. Carrying the ball this time was the fullback for the Wildcats. That was Travis Crowley. It's good to see Travis back in. Did not play last week, to my knowledge. Had an outstanding year last year. It moves the ball to the 10-yard line where I believe it'll be first down, goal to go. 3:05 to play. Oak Ridge up 36-7 over the Farragut Admirals. As I mentioned, the most points ever scored against Farragut by Oak Ridge, 44 points back in 1989. Oak Ridge won that one 44-10. The Wildcats at the 10-yard line. First down, goal to go actually at the 9. Ray will pitch to the tailback. That'll be Adams. Big hole, cuts to the outside. Had an opportunity. Kind of got tentative, I believe. If he had really continued to run hard, he might have been able to get in, but he's tackled it around the 7.
Well, it's good to see him in there. Like you said, it's his first carry as an official varsity Oak Ridge Wildcat. Had to see him there for a minute and really could have turned on the juice. It's kind of scary the first time. I'm sure he had a lot of butterflies, but now, you carry the ball once and all the butterflies are gone.
Oak Ridge on top, 36-7. 2 minutes, 15 seconds to play. Up to the line will come the Wildcats. Mike Ray from the eye once again. Receivers left and right. And Mike will hand it off to his fullback once again, who moves the ball all the way down to the 3-yard line. That's Travis Crowley once again carrying the ball for the Wildcats. It'll be third down, goal to go for the Wildcats at around the 3-yard line. Wildcats getting all kinds of new players in. Adrian Hill was in just a moment ago, and he remains in the game as a wideout. Tyler Harris in the ball game for Oak Ridge. Mike Ray, the quarterback, over to the sideline. Chris Layton in the game for Oak Ridge. The ball's at the 3-yard line. Third down, goal to go. The Wildcats with 1:40 to play. Rocky Remind in the game offensively at center for the Wildcats. Ray under center. Rocky. Third down, goal to go at the 2. If Ray fumbles, it has to fall on it at the 4-yard line. I think probably Mike thought he was going to get a score there, and he puts the ball down on the field. It'll be fourth down, goal to go at the 4. 1:21 and counting. The Wildcats with their younger players in, and Coach Joe Gaddis having a conversation with his quarterback, his backup quarterback, Mike Ray. 1:11 to play. Oak Ridge annihilated Ray County last week, 49-7. Big up on Farragut, up big on Farragut, 36-7. A minute to play. Wildcats trying to put it in for yet another time. It's fourth down, goal to go at the 4. Adams the tailback. And Mike will roll to his left. Boom, he's sacked. Farragut takes over. So the Admirals take over. And the guy who hit Mike Ray, he might have made a big lick right there, but all he needs to do is turn around and look at the scoreboard. It's 36-7. Individual efforts are nice, but scoreboard reading on our side is much better, much more pleasant. First and 10 for the Admirals.
Well, if you beat Farragut by 1 point or 100 points, it's a great feeling. We talked about the big rivalry, and anytime you beat your biggest rival, no matter how you do it, but especially when it's an impressive manner, it just makes it that much better. It's a wonderful win for Oak Ridge.
49 seconds to play, 36-7. Oak Ridge on top. Oak Ridge will beat Farragut for the third consecutive time. Oak Ridge on defense. Let's see if we can check some of the numbers. Rowland's still in there at quarterback. Now, I guess Farragut feeling they, need to keep their starter in there because much like Oak Ridge, he doesn't have a lot of experience. That's Rory Gibbs on the carry. Charlie Graham on the stop for the Wildcats. Kevin Krasinski is in the ballgame. Tyler Harris, Kiki Houston, Chanson Hall, Dale McBroom's in the ballgame for the Wildcats, along with number 42, Eric Inger. Chris Atkinson is in the ballgame for Oak Ridge. 23 seconds to play. 36-7 Oak Ridge on top. Rollins drops back to pass. Here comes the crime dog. Here's the pass up for grabs. There's the man. The pass is incomplete. Tyler Harris defending for the Wildcats. Kevin Venables in the ball game for Oak Ridge. 14 seconds to play. As Eric Inger in there as well. Second down and 10. The Oak Ridge Wildcats headed for win number 2. And I tell you, the 2 first games of the year have been very impressive efforts for the Wildcats. We have to go to Gallatin though next week.
Very, very impressive. And then I think, you're really going to have to step it up a notch. Gallatin's going to have a great football team. Their defense is going to be good. Their offense is going to be solid. They're not going to make a bunch of mistakes. Next week's going to be a fun game.
So David Clary, Scott Mugger, here's the final play. Perhaps the pass is complete to the 35-yard line. 9 seconds to play. The clock is ticking down. They continue to keep the clock going at 6 seconds. Now they do stop it. It is a first down for Farragut, and this will be the final play of the ball game. Oak Ridge on top, 36-7 over Farragut. 3 seconds to play. 1 second. That's the final play. Oak Ridge wins it. Final score is 36-7. The Farragut Admirals have lost for the second consecutive time